Well, we beat the Russians and won a gold medal. Thank you very much. Kidding. First of all, two of my close friends and most respected athletes. I told the story earlier. When Dan won his gold medal, I was covering the Olympic Games as a commentator. I was in the gym working out, riding the bike, and as he was skating, I was pedaling. Fast views going, I was going like this. When he crossed the finish line, I didn't pedal long. I got off the bike and left because my workout was complete. But you know, as CJ was saying, Bonnie and I and Dan, for me since 1980, 30 years, we normally come to events like this and we're the keynote speaker. And we came this time, but we paid. And the interesting thing is, when I was sitting here this morning, listening to different speakers, so many of the comments that they made reminded me of our team in 1980. And when I do speak at sales meetings, there's always a theme, and I'll say, you know what, this is a perfect meeting because it reminds me of my teammates in 1980. And there really are a lot of similarities to the goals and objectives of what we have as IBOs, and you have, as we had as athletes, and you have now. And it's to be the best and to be successful. Well, how do you do that? What enables you to be the best? What enabled us in 1980 to win a gold medal? People saw the end result, or maybe you saw the movie Miracle. And if you haven't seen the movie, get a copy because we get a percentage of the sales. But not supposed to talk business. All right. But you saw an end result. You saw an end result with Danny. You saw an end result with Bonnie. But what enabled that end result to happen? The ups, the downs, as DJ talked about. It didn't just happen overnight. We didn't just step on the ice and say, okay, we win a gold medal. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of effort, there's a lot of work that goes through with that. There are a lot of sacrifices that are made. Whether it's individual sacrifices, family sacrifices. Think of the sacrifices you're going to make here when you come on board. You're going to spend time away from the family once in a while, not like you had a job in a business. But you're still going to have to make some sacrifices. In 1980, we made a lot of sacrifices. I remember, I'm going to tell just a couple of stories. When our team was picked, thousands of people were invited to try out for the 80 Olympic team. As long as you were an amateur, not a professional, unlike today. And they held tryouts all over the country. 68 players went to Colorado Springs, and we competed against each other. Herb Brooks sat in the stands and evaluated the players. Tryouts were over. And he stood in front of everybody and he said, if I call your name, please stay. If I don't, thanks for coming. And I remember the first name he called was Ken Morrow. And I was sitting there thinking, God, I hope this isn't alphabetical. No, I have no chance now. Well, 26 players were selected on that team. Herb said two things to us. First thing he said is, I'll be your coach, but I won't be a friend. And I'm thinking this is going to be a long season. The second thing he said, though, stayed with me to this day. And I think it applies here today. He said to us, if you don't want to be here, then leave. Because there are thousands of people who would like to be in your shoes. And it's the same thing with this business. If you don't want to be a part of this team, if you don't want to be a part of this company, then leave. Because not only are you hurting yourself and your opportunity to succeed, but the people that you work with and the people that you work for. And what he was telling us was this, you got to buy into it. Everybody has a job, everybody has a role. Understand what your job is, understand what your role is, and we have a chance to be successful. We had a saying in the locker room, individually you can be good, but collectively we can become champions. And that's the mindset you have to have on a team. What you want to do is surround yourself with people whose goals and objectives are the same as yours. You want to come to work every day, prepared and focused to be the best, as they talked about. Every day they went to practice. That's the same thing here. You can't be afraid to roll up your sleeves and come to work. And that was our hockey team. And trust me when I tell you this, for 6 months, we came to the rink every day, prepared and focused to be the best. Never knowing what was going to happen 6 months later. But we knew as we were preparing for the Olympic Games, that's what we needed to do in order to be successful. One quick story, we went over and played Norway. We traveled all through Europe. The last 2 games was against Norway. Norway's a country the United States should beat. Well, the game ended in a 4-4 tie. And if you saw the movie Miracle, we did these skating drills after the game. We called these drills Herbies because we loved our coach so much. And a Herbie was a punishment. And what a Herbie was, you'd start at the boards, you'd go to the blue line back to where you started, then you'd go to center ice back to where you started, then you'd skate to the far blue line back to where you started, then you'd go down, touch the boards, and come back. Now, I know there are athletes in this room that ran those lines, you called them suicides or whatever, but we did them for an hour and a half after the game. Herb brought us in the locker room the next day, and he said, gentlemen, if you play this way again, we had to play Norway the next morning at 10 a.m. If you play this way again tomorrow, gentlemen, you'll skate again. Well, we won 8-0 the next day. So he knew he had a smart hockey team. But why I'm telling you that story is something that Derek talked about today: respect. One of the most important values in life is respect. And what Herb was telling us that evening was, if you don't respect your competition, you will not be successful. If you don't respect your teammates, you will not be successful. If you don't respect yourself, you will not be successful. So respect is an important value to have. And when you're on a team, you want people that have that value, have that respect. So we learned a great lesson that day and never made that mistake again. And I think 6 months later, there might have been a Soviet team that didn't quite respect a certain team the way they should have, and they got what they deserved. So, respect the value. And the last story I'll tell you, because we only had a few minutes, because somebody over here went a little longer than he was supposed to go. They talked about that yesterday. Anyway, prior to the Olympic Games in Torino, I got a call from ESPN, and they were doing a blog or one of those things that I have no idea about. And they asked me, what's the greatest moment that you and your teammates have been involved in? And I'm not going to run down the whole thing, but I thought of so many things that we've experienced. There were 2 movies about our team. HBO did a documentary about our team. We were named the greatest sports moment of the 20th century. We had the ultimate honor of lighting the cauldron in Salt Lake City. And I'll tell you a quick story on that, because the company's out of Provo, is we did not know we were lighting the cauldron till 1 o'clock in the morning, the night before the opening ceremonies. And they said to us, look, please don't tell anybody, it's a secret. So of course we don't tell anybody. We go backstage in Peekaboo Street, and Cammy Granado are bringing the torch up the steps, and my heart's pumping. DJ talked about the anthem being played. That's probably the most special moment, but this might have been the second. And I'm standing there, and my heart's pumping, and I'm just about to go out, and Mark Johnson taps me on the shoulder, and he says, remember, 4 billion people are watching. He said, don't drop the torch. So we did that moment, and it was amazing. And then I went back and I thought about the Olympic game. Well, first of all, when we were named Sportsman of the Year, which actually Eric Heiden should have won, because he won 5 gold medals in one Olympics. That's pretty good. But anyway, they named us Sportsman of the Year, and that was an honor. And I thought back to the Olympic Games, and I thought about what Dan was talking about. Standing on the podium, seeing your flag being risen just a little higher, hearing your anthem being played, and the whole building singing the Star-Spangled Banner was pretty special. I thought about having the gold medal around my neck, realizing that our team, everything we'd worked for and trained for, had come to fruition. We had won the ultimate prize. Then I thought about being a captain of a team of great people, great players, great leaders, people that could be in this room today that we would want on our team. I thought that was pretty special. And I thought scoring the winning goal against the Soviets is kind of nice. But when I thought about all those things, it still comes down to me for one thing. It's marching in the opening ceremonies. Because if you never get there, none of the other things would have even happened. And we talk about this all today. A lot of people talked about this. This is when I like to use a word like opportunity. Guess what? Each and every one of us in our lives are given an opportunity. It's what you do with that opportunity that counts. Dan, Bonnie, myself, we were given an opportunity to, in my case, play a game, in their case, play a sport, skate. We took that opportunity to a level that nobody could have imagined. As a business, as a team here, why we joined is we think there's a great opportunity for us at another level and a different level. And we're looking forward to this opportunity to take it to another level. We're hoping you're on board. We hope you all want to be a part of it, part of us. And with that opportunity, as we've all heard all day today, and you'll probably be hearing more about, take it to a level that it's never happened before. We believe in it. That's why we got involved. That's why we bought in. We're not endorsing the product. We're paying to be a part of it. We're just like you, other than we just play the sport differently. So with that, look forward to being part of this team and really, again, becoming very, very successful at something that is new to us. Thank you.